All right, let's talk about Baker Mayfield. And right off the bat, I had to mention there's this construction stuff going on in my apartment complex, so you might hear some background noise throughout. I apologize, but it's been going on all day. I have no idea when it'll stop, so kind of just gotta record now. So apologies if that gets a little annoying. It's not going on right now, but we'll see if it it comes back. But yeah. Anyway, let's talk about Baker Mayfield, who had a really interesting performance. We're gonna start off with a negative play. This one, it's going to be a zone coverage play, and it's Keith who's going to be running a route over the middle here, and there's going to be a pretty big gap. In fact, as you see, calling it a pretty big gap is, that's doing it a disservice. This is a wide open window to make this throw. And, one critique of Mayfield, he's not the tallest of quarterbacks, meaning that when there was a defender right in his face who did lift his arms up trying to knock the ball away, Mayfield kind of has to throw the ball a little bit higher to get it over there, meaning that's part of why the ball is a little bit higher, and he's definitely throwing this one as a bullet pass as well. As you see, Keith isn't able to make that grab. And listen, this is a blocking tight end. Like, I'm not expecting him to be able to make those types of catches. If he can make a catch, cool. But, you don't expect him to make tough catches. You expect him to make the ones that hit him in the hands. This was a bit of a tough catch. He had to go up to try and get it, and it's really hard. So, it's really fast, meaning that it's just harder when you have to go up and make the play. A lot of times you can handle a hard pass or a little bit off pass, but both makes it, those are the really tough ones. This is just one example, but the reality is, early on, he was missing throws. He was not having a good day out there. And, it was roughly 25-ish minutes in. Baker Mayfield, you were almost starting to wonder, did they make the right call putting Mayfield in there instead of Trask? Because it wasn't going particularly well, but then things shifted. Going over here, it was that drive at the end of the first half to get them on the board, get them 7 points. Technically, they already had 3, but that was due to a fumble that set them up already in field goal range. But, this was kind of a good play, and really, I thought Mayfield, for the most part, once that switch kind of got flipped at that, 20-25 minute mark, he really, I thought, was making good throws consistently. And this is a good example where you have a receiver running a route that's going to get into a gap in coverage right here, and it's Chris Godwin, the receiver, and watch what happens. So, Mayfield takes a snap. He's going to fire in that direction immediately, no hesitation, and this isn't a wide open window at all. There's a window, but really this is one of those, Mayfield, you're going to have to hit your spot. If you miss this spot, it is going to be an incompletion. You can't afford to do what you did in the last play of missing it a little bit. Even though it's Chris Godwin, he won't be able to bail you out just because there's not enough room. However, Mayfield puts this one right on the money. If that one's, 6 inches, a foot over in any direction, I don't think that's a completion. I think he had to put that one exactly where he put it to get the completion, and he was able to really do this and find a pretty good rhythm out there. Also, going over here, I thought Mayfield was making some pretty interesting and pretty good decisions. Again, Tampa Bay fans, we just came off of seeing Tom Brady be the quarterback of our team. So obviously, no quarterback is going to feel like as good of a decision maker as he was. That's just part of, that's just how it works. But I did think Mayfield was still making some fascinating decisions. Like this one, okay, it looks like the way this play concept is designed to work is a wide receiver screen to the top of the screen. You saw a lot of kind of showing cover zero plays. Flores loves to show cover zero. And so for Tampa Bay, if it is in fact cover zero, you can flip it up to the receiver on the top of the screen, hopefully pick up 6 yards on this 3rd down and 6. The other aspect of this is you have Mike Evans one-on-one. So Baker Mayfield saying, well, forget the other play. Let's just throw it to Mike Evans. As you see, Mayfield is going to eventually fire it over there. Evans is able to make the grab, and they're able to pick up a 1st down. That's just kind of smart football of yeah, we have this play concept, and I'm assuming this is always a decision in the playbook. It's not like Mayfield had to throw it to the receiver, because Evans was also aware of it. He wasn't just running a decoy route. He ran it out at the very least if it was just a decoy route. But this is the kind of thing where you have the option to do it, but typically you are just going to throw the screen pass. However, hey, if the opportunity presents itself to do something better. Good stuff there from Baker Mayfield, in my opinion. It's those 2 plays that were kind of the main thing that turn things around for Tampa Bay offensively. It was just making the smart decision, making the decision quickly, because that is something that's really important. Again, We saw with Tom Brady how important it is to get the ball out of your hands in a hurry. But that is kind of one of the things that I feel like for someone like Mayfield, who, let's just be honest, he isn't the athlete that a lot of other quarterbacks are. Having the ability to just get rid of the football the second you need to get rid of the football, there's so much value in that, and that's kind of what he's shown he can do. We also saw him being successful in some more unique ways. I think one of the things that I really enjoy watching Baker Mayfield do is just kind of the improvisational stuff. He's one of those guys who, I don't know, I don't want to say the word it factor, but he kind of does have the it factor a little bit, right? And sometimes it goes horribly wrong. Sometimes he doesn't admit that a play is dead, and because of that ends up getting himself in trouble. But sometimes it works out, like on something like this. Watch how Mayfield's going to run this play action, and he's under pressure right away. And this is something that a lot of quarterbacks in this spot, there's really kind of three things you could do here, right? One is just go down. And to be honest, if any quarterback just took a sack here, I wouldn't blame him. That's totally a fine strategy. The other option is you could try to make something happen, which could obviously go well or go poorly. Those are the three full options. We saw Jameis Winston try to make things happen a lot, and usually they didn't go too well. Baker Mayfield, I'm not saying things always go well for him either, but in this game, they pretty much did. Watch him flip it to a halfback who's going to be able to pick up a positive play. Actually gains 8 yards on that play. That's actually a really good play, going from what should have probably been a sack to an 8-yard gain. That's a huge swing on a specific play. That basically saves a drive. They got the first down. That's a drive-saving play, essentially. Obviously, who knows how repeatable these kind of things are? I don't know how repeatable this kind of thing is. But the fact that it was, they were able to do this in general, it's definitely, a good sign that these things were working for Baker Mayfield. You just hope that he doesn't get himself in trouble in future games. And also this play, this is just what you love about Mayfield. Again, it's the energy. He's so much fun to watch, and this is exactly what it is. It's a 3rd down and 2 right here. Huge spot in the game. Minnesota is out of timeouts at this point. There's 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. So if the Vikings can get a stop here, maybe Tampa Bay goes for it in this situation. It is a long 2, but still, maybe you just try to win it right here. I don't know. But either way, you don't want to have to be in that situation. And if you do punt it, then Minnesota only needs a field goal with they'll still have a little bit under 3 minutes at that point to try and make a play happen, try to make a drive happen. So Mayfield takes a snap. They decide to throw it, which kind of makes some sense a little bit, right? The running game still isn't really that effective for Tampa Bay. And let's be honest, this is one of the few aspects that Baker has that Brady does not, is Baker's obviously a more effective runner than 45-year-old Tom Brady was. Where Mayfield looks down the field, he doesn't love what he sees. Last year for Tampa Bay, when this happened, these plays would basically be over and there'd be nothing you could do. Mayfield does have a ability to scramble, and he also knows that, hey, sometimes you got to take a hit. Now's the time to do it. As you see, he is going to scramble up. He's going to, make sure he, lowers his shoulder, does what he can to pick up the first down. Unfortunately, did get out of bounds on that play, so the clock stopped, which did matter a little bit. But at the same time, hey, he made the throw on the 3rd down later on the next 3rd down to pick up a first down. And it's that kind of, again, ability to make a play happen when you need a play to happen. It's one of those weird things where, like, Mayfield's overall performance in this game was, I would not consider it great. However, Mayfield's performance from once kind of that switch got flipped after the rough, quarter and a half, that was at least good. He was at least a good quarterback from that point forward. Kind of the issue with Mayfield is he's always been inconsistent, but you can deal with inconsistencies. Carolina didn't get an inconsistent quarterback with Mayfield. They got a bad one. Already, Mayfield is showing more than he has, debatably in the past couple of seasons, with the exception of that one game with the Rams last year. So we'll see, but definitely exciting, and just it's a fun time here, seeing a quarterback look solid. So yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.